Is any of it real? I mean, look at this. Look at it! A world built on fantasy. Synthetic emotions in the form of pills. Psychological warfare in the form of advertising. Mind-altering chemicals in the form of food. Brainwashing seminars in the form of media. Controlled, isolated bubbles in the form of social networks. Real? You want to talk about reality? We haven't lived in anything remotely close to it since the turn of the century.
That was a clip from Mr. Robot, which was a really good TV series up until maybe the last season. I don't know, but I really liked it. We talked on this channel before that sometimes they put the truth right in front of your face. Like the truth is right there in the open and they're letting you know what's going on. They're letting you know what they're doing, and it's really up to you to keep either going along with it as a form of consent or fighting back, wherever that may look like to you, whether it's detaching from the mainstream, unhooking from the matrix, the rat race, living for yourself, not like breaking the rules or anything like that or breaking the law, but stop depending on the mainstream government and the mainstream period to dictate what you should do and how you should live, right? Like the whole zeitgeist thing. There's a lot of things that was said in this clip that I totally agree with.
A world built on fantasy. Synthetic emotions in the form of pills.
Synthetic emotion in the form of pills. The US is really love their pills. They really love their medication. The US is, I think we take up like 80% of big the pharmaceuticals and psychopharmaceuticals like antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, when a lot of it can be fixed by changing the way you live, your lifestyle, what you eat. And I'm not saying all of it, but a lot of it could be. But we don't focus on that. We don't focus on health or diet or anything or natural things, because that would hurt big pharma, and we can't talk about weight because that would hurt the feelings of fat positive movement.
Psychological warfare in the form of advertising.
Psychological warfare in the form of advertisement. I think it's not just advertisement. Of course, it's media, it's mainstream media, it's movies, books, it's social media that lock you into these little bubbles and these echo chambers to make you think that everyone in the world is talking about the same thing, when it's just really your echo chamber in your bubble, but it makes you extremely divisive in your real life. And we've all seen the data that shows that anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts and ideation, when you constantly fantasize about offing yourself and you romanticize it in your head, has skyrocketed since social media has been booming, especially with the younger generation of Gen Z and younger millennials. I will say there's psychological warfare. Psychological warfare can also be in other forms, like gaslighting the public, like, you know, changing the definition of men and women, or men can compete against women because there is no biological difference between men and women, that little kids should be able to choose their gender at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And when you point out how nonsensical that is, you're gaslighted into thinking you're a terrible freaking human being, when everybody is struggling in this economy, but you have political pundits telling you that the economy is doing really well, when you skyrocketed the price of living but force people to still work mediocre jobs trying to just basically survive. A lot of it's psychological and spiritual warfare.
Mind-altering chemicals in the form of food.
Mind-altering chemicals in the form of food, which basically marries what I said about people popping pills, when a lot of it could just be your diet, what you're eating. What you're eating is so extremely important. I cannot tell you how important it is to your emotional, mental, psychological, spiritual well-being. It is so freaking important. But because people are so overworked and just constantly trying to survive in the economy, who has time to like sit there and do research on what I can eat and what I cannot eat? Because it seems like everything causes cancer, down to the soil and the fertilizer that we're using. I can go really in depth to you. I can take you down a rabbit hole when it comes to the way American food is processed. It is fucking horrendous. But I want to keep this video short, so we're gonna move on.
brainwashing seminars in the form of media.
Okay, he went back to the media thing because before he said like psychological warfare with a form of advertising, and now he's going back to brainwashing seminar in a form of media. But again, it's not just mainstream media. It's movies, it's Hollywood, it's social media, it's literature, it's music, it's everything, right? You know, promoting and highlighting things that are really damaging to you and kind of quieting down and shoving it under the rug and making less popular what's good for you. Like literally promoting the most degenerate in real life influencers to, you know, incentivize more people to act degenerate.
Isolated bubbles in the form of social networks.
Hold isolated bubbles in a form of social networks. I hit on that a little bit with the psychological warfare. These echo chambers that people are locked into and people refuse to realize they are locked into a fucking echo chamber. The amount of things that you guys think is like so global and everyone's talking about and is on everyone's mind is so crazy to me, because it's your echo chamber. Your echo chamber is very loud to you, so you think it's everyone, but it's your echo chamber. Which is, I get it. People are so detached physically in real life. Like this is like the new community, right? We used to live in little communities and little tribes, and these echo chambers have just replaced that, but in like the worst way fucking possible. These echo chambers are on purpose. Is it purposely to manipulate you? Do you think social media has your best interest at heart or your worst interest at heart? You know, always ask yourself why they do what they do. So to me, their media movies tell you all the time what they're doing in real life, and people look at it, they say, yeah, that's true, but then they just go back to sleep. Not everybody. Some of you definitely have realized this and woken up. Not woke, but awake. Anyway, guys, I don't want to make this video long. I could take each thing he said and literally make an hour-long video out of it, but we're not going to do that. Let me know what you guys think of what I said, what he said in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get the notification when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. You can donate. My PayPal and Cash App link is in the comment section down below. And you can super thanks. You guys have an amazing, beautiful day. Bye.
Real? You want to talk about reality? We haven't lived in anything remotely close to it since the turn of the century.